Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and today it's not going to be really much of a review. This is just going to be a not really in-depth review or anything, more of this is what I've seen recently, thanks to Ben. Actually, this one is this film called Talons of the Eagle with Billy Blanks, yes, Tybo himself, and a guy named Jalal Merhi. When you're fighting crime, killing is a way of life. Thanks to Ben, actually, this one who sent me this DVD. Really, this film Tough and Deli, which that's not the right poster, but it's definitely the better of these two. I really like Tough and Deli. Maybe I'll review that on its own. Probably will, but Tales of the Eagle, real quick, like since I watched it, I thought it sucked. I mean, I thought it really wasn't much to it. Uh, it's directed by a guy named Michael Kennedy, which, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking at what he has done, and mainly a lot of TV. A lot of TV. He did The Swordsman. He did Red Scorpion 2. Really, Red Scorpion 2. Well, that makes sense. And Billy Blanks stars. And Billy Blanks, he's a guy, I will say right off the bat, he's a great martial artist. And his acting, sometimes I take him or leave him. I don't mind. What was it? Blood Fist, I think was the name of it. I liked him with Roddy Piper here, Tough and Deadly. I mean, there's a couple of films I thought he's okay in, but then there's others like I'm not a fan of TC 2000. I'm not a fan of not a fan of this film. And this other guy, Jalal Merhi, I don't really know him much. Apparently, he's done a lot. Like this is a guy who apparently Jalal Merhi, the co-star of this movie, he actually directed the Circuit 2, and the Circuit 3 with Olivier Gruner. Something called Expect to Die, something called Operation Golden Phoenix, which I think also starred him and Lauren Avedon, which I don't know anything about, but it has a 3.0 on IMDb. I might be curious about because I like Lauren Avedon. He's an actor. He's done stuff, but he's also a producer. Like he produced this film, Talons of the Eagle. I wonder how that's how he got part of starring in it. I wonder. He was the executive producer of Tiger Claws. He was a producer of TC 2000, Tiger Claws 2, Expect to Die, Tiger Claws 3, God. Not only did he direct, but he also produced the Circuit 2, the Circuit 3. And he's an actor as well. Oh, he was in Tiger Claws. He was in TC 2000, Operation Golden Phoenix, Tiger Claws 2, Expect to Die, Tiger Claws 3, God. Oh, the Circuit 2. Pretty much a lot of stuff he directed or he produced. He also got to be in. The film also stars, you have James Hahn, Lo Pan himself from Big Trouble in Little China. He's the bad guy. The other bad guy is Matthias Hues. Or I thought it was Matthias, but I watched a trailer of this film, and in the trailer they call it Matthias Hues. Or Matthias Hues. But either way, that's the bad guy in No Retreat, No Surrender 2. He's the evil alien, and I Come in Peace. He's also a bad guy in this. You have Priscilla Barnes as the female interest. The film itself is not much. Billy Blanks is a cop who is sent to Toronto to help this other cop, Jalal Merhi. Which I'm like, Jalal Merhi? He's a Canadian? Is that okay? Sure. Right. Basically, there's people get killed. They have to not only get together, they have to go to the martial arts school to train under a guy who trains them techniques of the claw and the eagle, I should say, in order to enter a tournament where they only have like one fight each and they win. But then they save James Hahn, and James Hahn's like, I'm gonna offer you a job to work at like his club or something. So they do, and there's Priscilla Barnes, James Hahn's girl, who you find out she's an undercover agent as well, and they join forces. They get in a couple fights, stop James Hahn, stop Matthias Hues. And the thing is, this film, there's really nothing to it. I thought it was rather boring. It was really tough because these two just did not work in this movie. Like Billy Blanks, I will say he worked well with Roddy Piper and Tough and Deadly, and to a lesser extent Back in Action. I like Back in Action, but out of those two, I probably like Tough and Deadly better. Maybe I'll get to that another day. But these two just did not work. Jalal Merhi, maybe he's a nice guy, that's cool, but I didn't. I thought he sucked at the acting. I thought he sucked at the martial arts. I did not give a fuck about him. I didn't give a fuck about his character. I thought he was shitty. I mean, you can get pissed all you want. It's my personal opinion. And they have no chemistry whatsoever. It's that kind of chemistry. And they try to do like little things of, what kind of music you listen to. Don't listen to Jalal Murray, like listens to Mozart, and Billy Blank's like, no, you should, that's not what you should listen. They just do terrible back and forth. No chemistry. You don't buy them ever becoming friends or anything like that. There's a little bit like Jalal Murray kind of has a house for Priscilla Barnes. You have kind of a sex scene in the shower, kind of, sort of. You did end fight between Billy Blanks and Matthias Hues, Matthias, however you say it, because I've heard it differently pronounced. So I'll just say Matthias Hues. Billy Blanks gets in a fight with him, which is it's okay. I mean, it's all right. It's decent, but it's nothing to run home about. And the film was just lackluster. It was nothing to run home about. It was nothing to shine your boots on, or nothing to be like, oh shit. It's a rather forgettable flick, forgettable movie, terrible acting. I thought both these guys were really bad in it. Terrible acting. Billy Blanks is a good martial artist, I gotta admit, and sometimes he does okay with the acting. Like, I think when he's with Roddy Piper, I think him and Roddy Piper actually have a decent chemistry to them. But, like, Team the Kickboxers is very over the top. TZ2000, I couldn't care for. I haven't seen it in a while, but I didn't care for when I first saw it. No, I don't own the film, but I saw it once a long time ago. But Jalal Merhi, again, this guy, I don't even remember him in TC2000 or the other stuff, but I didn't think he was much of a martial artist, and he definitely wasn't much of an actor. Shitty chemistry. James Hahn doesn't really have much to do. He's collecting a paycheck. Matthias Hues, again, doesn't have tons to do until his. I know he's. There's a scene where there's a bunch of guys, like he's kind of training a bunch of guys, and it's nothing to run home about. It's just, like I said, it's not much a review, just more of a. This is what I've seen lately. Talons of the Eagle. It's not much. I mean, nothing to run home about. And the whole thing with being trained in the Eagle and the claw Eagle shit, where it's like the master that's teaching them could actually get like the bark of a tree and rip it off. That never comes into play. So I'm like, what the fuck was the point of them training to do that when it never comes into play? It never comes into play that they have to use those particular set of skills. Unless I dozed off, or literally some membrane covered over my eyes and I was hallucinating and seeing one thing, or it covered the irises of my eyes to not see what it was supposed to be used for. But there was no point, and the talents. Even the title of the film, really, there was no point to it. It's not like I don't defeat the guy and I gotta do this or I gotta do this, or really not much to it. Because for the most part, they just fight normally anyway. So that was kind of pointless. All it was is when you get to the ending, Billy Blanks and Priscilla Barnes are trapped in there. Jalal Merhi gets out, gets with the guy who trained him and some of his students and come there and they get into some little piddly fights. Just it's not much run all about, so it's a shorter than usual video, but that's why you probably don't get a couple videos today like that. Just of what I've seen lately, Talons of the Eagle. I will say, if you want to see Billy Blanks with a sort of a buddy action movie, Tough and Deadly is much better, and I'll talk about that another day. But anyway, stay tuned for another quick review.